Nigel Farage has demanded an apology after the technology sector accused the Reform UK leader of being on the side of predators when it comes to online safety. Speaking to this programme, Peter Kyle said Reform's pledge to overturn new online safety laws would leave children vulnerable. Nigel Farage has described his comments as disgusting. Well, speaking on social media, he said Peter Kyle's comments on Sky News are disgusting. He should do the right thing and apologise. There have been further reactions since then, but first, let's go back and listen to the comments that Peter Kyle made on this programme 2 hours ago.
I see that Nigel Farage is already saying that he's going to overturn these laws. So, we have people out there who are extreme pornographers, peddling hate, peddling violence. Nigel Farage is on their side. Make no mistake about it, if people like Jimmy Savile were alive today, he'd be perpetrating his crimes online. And Nigel Farage is saying that he's on their side.
I'm sorry.
Not the side of children who are...
I'm going to ask you to clarify. Do you honestly think to say Nigel Farage is on Jimmy Savile's side?
When it comes to online activity, we have seen unfettered access of adults to children via social media. When we put in the age verification, it stops strange adults getting in touch with children. So make no mistake.
This is a major leap. You're going to stick to the fact that you said that Nigel Farage is on Jimmy Savile's side.
Nigel Farage is on the side of turning the clock back to the time when strange adults, strangers, can get in touch via messaging apps with children. We have now asked to age verify the age in which people can have access to online content so we can protect children from unwanted, dangerous content and also those messaging services where people can get access directly to it. Nigel Farage wants to turn the clock right back when all of that, I have absolutely no doubt about it, people are perpetrating more crime online, more danger to children online, and Nigel Farage has said he wants to overturn every single one of the laws that keeps children safe in our country.
That's one of the most outrageous and disgusting things a politician has said in the political arena that I can remember, and that's quite a high bar, frankly. Look, what it also shows is Labour, have no idea how the internet actually works, which is why they are unwilling to admit this act, despite its name, is actually going to make children less safe. I'll come on to why in a moment. But it also shows how deeply unserious they are about child safety. Levelling that allegation, talking about Jimmy Savile in that way, does nothing other than denigrate the victims of Jimmy Savile. This is a political party that is collapsing in the polls at historic speed, a prime minister whose approval is collapsing at historic speed. All they have left is trying to censor British people and insult their political opponents in the most disgusting way.
Peter Kyle 2 hours ago there, and then Zia Youssef an hour ago. We've got some fallback on the floor here, guys. If we could turn that off, we're hearing ourselves back on the speaker. Maurice, since then, we've also had further tweets, both from Kyle and Farage.
Yes, exactly. So Nigel Farage originally tweeting Peter Kyle's comments on Sky News are disgusting, he should do the right thing and apologise. Peter Kyle then responding, directly retweeting Nigel Farage's comment saying, if you want to overturn the Online Safety Act, you are on the side of predators. It is as simple as that. And then Nigel Farage responding again, retweeting Peter Kyle's tweet about that, saying, if this act is to protect children, why are you setting up an elite police unit to monitor comments on asylum hotels? So starting to an extent, broaden out this argument about the Online Safety Act and bring it back to accusations from the Reform Party around censorship and immigration. And you heard that from some of the stuff that Zia Youssef was saying in that clip just a few moments ago, talking about Labour tyranny as far as he's concerned, and censorship of the population and their concern around free speech and freedom of speech. And so this row is now rumbling on where you have a senior cabinet minister accusing Nigel Farage of backing predators and being on the side of predators. And I think the Reform Party are, to an extent, flabbergasted this morning that accusation would be levelled at them, and then also trying to find a way to turn the conversation away from that and back to what they want to talk about in relation to the Online Safety Act, which is what they believe is censorship and freedom of speech questions.
And I would say not just predators in general, one in particular, very high-profile predator that's sort of a bit of a lightning rod for obvious reasons in this country, and Jimmy Savile, and, you know, given a number of chances to clarify what he meant. And as we said before, a lot of things get said in the moment of a live television audience, and we applaud all politicians for coming on as regularly as they do. But I gave him the chance twice in the interview. And then, perhaps more strikingly, since then, online, with time to think about it, he's had the chance to clarify and decided not to back down on this.
Yeah, and, you know, we've been speaking to senior government sources to check whether he misspoke, whether there was an issue there, and they haven't, you know, distanced themselves from the comments. They've just said, take a look at his tweet, and they haven't condemned his comments or anything like that. And I think, as I was saying earlier, the danger with this is Labour were utterly outraged when Boris Johnson made similarly incendiary comments about Keir Starmer and his role at the Director of Public Prosecutions at the CPS, and they felt that was outrageous. Some of the accusations that were found to be incorrect, but the fact that they were made under parliamentary privilege in the House of Commons. So I find it fascinating that Labour are using a similar weapon. It's a different argument, but a similar weapon in terms of some of these predators in order to try and make a political point. And I feel that actually we learned a lesson the first time when Boris Johnson tried to do that, and clearly it didn't work because Keir Starmer is now the Prime Minister. Perhaps Labour might need to learn that lesson themselves, that maybe this isn't the best way to attack.
We shall see how this continues to develop. I mean, it's developed with various responses and replies in just the hour or two since it happened. So all eyes on X for the next hour whilst we're still on air on The Breakfast Show. Mari, thanks so much